Alright guys, it's a nice November day and I'm going to do a little review here on this Kobalt 24 volt pole saw that I purchased. I plan to use this to do a little bit of tree trimming with it out of the bucket. And then also when we load the dump truck up with big piles of stuff like this, I can go down the edge of the dump truck and trim anything sticking over the edge that's over my head. And again, I don't intend to use this out of the bucket a whole lot, but it would be nice to have it every once in a while. So I'm going to give you a little review of the 24 volt max and why I went that way. Alright guys, we have got us right at about a 6.5 inch diameter log and an 8-inch bar. So we're good to go. We're going to start cutting this thing in rounds until that battery goes dead. Actually, that's an old battery from another Kobalt tool. I've got this fresh battery sitting right here. We're going to swap into it. Just came off the charger. And we're going to chop with this. This is the battery that came with the saw. It's brand new. And we're going to put her to the test. See how many cuts we can get on this. And go from there. Alright guys, got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 full cuts and about an 1/8 on a 15th cut. So, see, the battery is warm to the touch. We'll see if it'll cut anymore. Alright, so it's definitely dead. As the battery cools for a second, you get a little more bump out of it every once in a while, but it's got a little fan inside there. So, yep, it's blinking. So, little 2 amp hour battery, 15 cuts, that's not bad. 15 cuts of nearly full bar length. Let's see. Let me grab my tape measure real quick. So we started around 8 inch or 7.5 or 6.5 inches, and we are still right around. Make sure you guys can see. So, and it's not, so there's a little over 7 there. And 6.5 right there. So still good cut. So those are, if you were cutting smaller limbs, like I probably won't be making this many cuts out of a bucket for sure. And you guys using them at home probably won't be making that many cuts of big wood like this. But what I'll do is I'll use the area of this, calculate it up, see how much area I cut through, and sort of calculate how many smaller diameter cuts you could make with this. And then if you want to run a bigger battery, you could do that also and get twice the cuts with a 4 amp-hour battery. Alright guys, so why did I buy a Kobalt pole saw? Well, number one, this thing does have another extension, so it will go out another couple feet. I tree trim. I'm probably one of the few that you'll find that tree trims as a hobby, because I have a full-time job. Tree trimming is just a part-time job, really. It's definitely not pro grade, but if you've seen my channel, my other videos, I've got some other Kobalt tools. So I'm already in this kind of ecosystem of tools, so I figured I'd give it a try. I've been trimming as a hobby. We've done more jobs than I can count on all my hands and toes, or fingers and toes, but we haven't needed a pole saw very often, so I didn't want to spend $400 or $500 on a pro grade pole saw for something you don't use that much. I'd rather spend that kind of money maybe on a battery operated topping saw, because it is a little aggravating starting the little echo every once in a while. So I figure this will get me through any job I need it to get through. It cuts through big stuff. I wasn't sure that it would cut through. That was maple we were cutting through right there. I've got extra batteries, so if I need to make a lot of big cuts like that up in a tree, I've got enough batteries that I can take 3 batteries up there with me. I've got 2 2-amp-hour batteries now and a 4-amp-hour battery, so I can make plenty of cuts if I had to. I don't expect I'll ever need to do that. I waited to buy it at the right time when they were doing a free tool sale. You can see I haven't even taken the cover off this impact ratchet, but this will be real handy as I work on other equipment. So I got a free battery for my other Kobalt tools if this thing craps out, and I got a free tool out of the deal, all for 150 bucks, which is, I thought, a good deal. So I did use it on a tree job here. I actually wanted to film that job, but the camera fell out of my sweatshirt pocket and I couldn't find it. It was down lodged in the back of the bucket truck, so I didn't get to film that job. We did use it for 3 or 4 cuts on that job. We were topped out in the bucket and needed just a little bit more height. That got me what I needed. I could have done it another way though. I could have tied a rope to it and cut it lower and let a big chunk swing down and chop it up. So, but it was handier to have the pole saw and do it that way. It's covered in oil. I don't really like the tensioning mechanism too much. It does seem to keep the chain tight. It's like a loosen up chain, sort of auto tightens and then tighten it back up. Not horrible. I think the last time I used it, I didn't get the cap on exactly right and it leaked oil all over both my trucks, on the floorboard and on the back. I don't know if it's actually leaking down through where it oils the bar or not. It might be, so it does seem to be a bit leaky. I actually just cleaned all this off a little bit ago. I will watch that. So other than that, so far so good. My other saws leak, so a little leaking oil is not a big deal to me. It might be more of a big deal to you guys though. So I'm happy with it so far. I'll keep using it. If it breaks, I'll let you guys know. Alright guys, I'll sneak this in before the wrap up of the video. One other thing I forgot to mention I really do sort of like about this pole saw, and I don't have the battery in it right now, but when I got a big pile of stuff like this, instead of having not going to cut the big stuff, but instead of having to reach in with a normal chainsaw and cut all this, a lot of this small stuff, I can just stand back, bob it up real easy. It's nice to just reach out, and it's light, so it saves on your back a little bit when you get the big stuff out and you're just bobbing up the little stuff. It's actually pretty handy for that too. Alright guys, if you like the video, please give us a thumbs up. It really helps the channel out, helps me create more content. Hope you enjoyed what you saw. Hope it helps you make a better buying decision in the future. I'm not sponsored by Kobalt. This is or Lowe's or anybody. This is just stuff I do on the side. It's my honest opinion. And if you like the kind of content I'm giving, consider subscribing. There'll be more to come. Thanks for watching.